It is without a doubt that the most important part of your YouTube videos is your intro. It's the first 15 to 30 seconds. And in this video, I'll be breaking down some of the best practices when it comes to developing your introduction so that your viewers, your subscribers get hooked and stay on your videos from the very beginning. But if we are just meeting, my name is Omar Eltakori, one of the content creators here at Think Media. And I'm so excited to do this live stream right now. If you're watching on the live stream, let me know what device you are watching on. Are you watching on your smartphone, your TV, your computer, laptop, tablet? Let me know. If you're watching the replay, hey, let me know in the comments. Put in replay fam. But I'm so excited to get into this content. I think it's going to be super helpful and valuable to all of you guys. And so real quick, I'm going to be talking about on how to start your YouTube videos, helping you hook your viewers. And I think it's so important that we hook our viewers. So here's what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn three things. We're going to talk about the best practices for your intros to your videos. Then I'll be sharing some of my favorite intros that we've done here at Think Media. And we're always experimenting, and there's always different ways to do it based off of the type of videos you are creating. Thirdly, we're going to actually be reviewing and breaking down some other YouTubers' intros. So maybe you'll find a YouTuber that has a very similar niche or content style as you, and maybe that'll find yourself helpful. Kind of coach through it a little bit, but I'm super pumped to get into that. Want to shout out our sponsor for this stream. It is StreamYard. StreamYard is our go-to platform when it comes to live streaming. We're currently using StreamYard right now. It just gives it such an easy way to bring up banners. You can put your social media handles, adding assets like videos on your live stream. But I think most importantly, the most awesome feature about StreamYard is bringing on guests. And it makes it so easy to just bring on a guest, conduct an interview, and have it branded well, super cool and easy. We use it for YouTube and Facebook live streaming. But if you want to get $10 off on StreamYard, hit the link in the description and sign up for StreamYard. Thank you, StreamYard, for sponsoring this. Let's get into the training. So according to Time Magazine, the average attention span for the notoriously ill-focused goldfish is 9 seconds. People, humans, you and I, now generally lose concentration after 8 seconds. Friend, I don't know if you came here to be encouraged. I'm here to tell you that we have a worse attention span than a goldfish, but it's true according to Time. And so this has to beg the question, what does this tell me about this reality to scientifically and things like that? That it tells me that I have about 8 seconds to convince you to keep watching the video. So I think it's a stewardship question. Like, what am I doing in these 8 seconds as you give me your attention? I think of it this way. I should be very intentional about getting attention. Be intentional about getting attention. And so I want to break down the Think Media introduction formula that we like teaching our students. And it's going to be, there's 3 elements to an introduction that we would say is a good starting place. Obviously, with YouTube, you can have a million different ways of doing types of videos, from vlogs to tutorials to screen shares and things like that, to live streams like this. But the Think Media introduction formula is number 1, starting with your hook. Your hook is your attention grabber. Your hook is dialed in, and your hook is intentional. This isn't something you want to wing. This is not something like, I'm going to hit record on the camera and I'm just going to like intro my video. Nope, we're going to think about it. We're going to be intentional about the attention. Number 2 is you're going to go into your bumper. Your bumper is your, branded logo fly in. It's your kind of like the vibes that come in. Maybe music comes in at this time. That is your bumper, the second element. These can be interchanged, 1 and 2. You could start with your bumper, especially if it's short enough. Thirdly is a short introduction, and then you're going to get right into the content. So really, this is the Think Media introduction formula. I'm a visual learner, so I wanted to visually show you the screen grabs of what that would look like. So on the bottom left, you see me right here with 2 cameras. This is my hook. I'm conducting my hook. What is the best camera for YouTube in 2020? Well, it's between these 2 cameras. Boom, jumps into our bumper, which is our Think logo. we really dialed it in to be really short. It's like 3 to 5 seconds. And then you got your introduction. And so we're going to go into each of these right now. So the first thing is your hook. And I wanted to create this illustration of essentially fishing, like fishermen, fisherwomen, that your hook is essentially your bait. You know, when you think about bait, you choose specific bait to reach specific fish or trout. And so you want to be intentional about how you bait your video. And so there are 4 things to consider when creating your hook, when you are scripting your hook, when you are writing out your hook. So even in this video, I scripted out my hook and made it intentional. I didn't want to just start the live stream. I wanted to have an intentional way of this video starting so you knew what you were getting yourself into. The first thing you want to do, or one of the ways, is to ask a question that states the problem. So what is it that what problem is your video solving? Do you have a problem trying to get that blurry background in that? It's very helpful. Number 2, you could start with a fact. There's something about when you share a fact that kind of just grabs the people's attention. According to Time Magazine, they say that goldfish have the attention span of 9 seconds. Humans have the attention span of 8 seconds. Whoa. It just grabs you when you kind of state a fact or a quote or a fact of some sorts. Thirdly is showing transformation or sharing something that you are going to transform. The idea is from this to that. So, when you pull your camera out of the box, it's going to look like this. But when you attach something like this lens, it's going to look like this. And so think about going from this to that is a good way. There's something about transformation in a moment. If you're scrolling on Instagram and you see somebody's like before and after fitness photos, I run to the caption because I'm like, how long did that take? What did you do? What was the diet? My goodness, I need to work out. But I think there's something right now, there's like a trend right now on social media that's like how I was then, how I'm doing now. But all that to say, when you show transformation in a moment, it really pulls you in. And obviously your video is then going to share the process on how to get there. Secondly, and this is something we've been experimenting with here at Think Media, it's just giving a tip right from the start. If your video is a 5-tip video, start with one of the tips. One way that you can achieve a blurry background is by lowering your aperture. Boom, boom, boom. Now I got a blurry background. I got more tips like this. Let's get into it. It just kicks you off. And we've been studying this a little bit here at Think Media. It's this idea of like a kick. It's the dopamine that comes when you are, showing somebody something. There's a kick that happens. And if you watch videos that actually drag out, you're losing the dopamine kick that just took place. And so we want to just keep you pumped up about this video. We want to keep you re-engaging. And so these are some ways you can do that with your hook. Secondly, we have your bumper. I think bumpers are exciting, but I think some people get a little too excited when they make their bumper or get it made because they're like, oh my gosh, my logo is flying around, like super sick. Like I got music and my logo's there. And it is cool. I remember when I first did it, I was like, everybody got the EDM beat. It's kind of like when you get your logo on a t-shirt or a hat, you're like, dude, I'm legit. It's like, no, you just got your logo on your t-shirt. So funny. Anyway, your bumper is your cast. So it's like the fishing illustration, we would say keep it under 6 seconds. And, what I love that it does, obviously it brands your video, gives an idea of what people should know what your channel is about. I put notes that it determines kind of the energy, the feel. And I do think it adds a level of legitimacy because it's it's professional to have like a nice bumper. But I want to encourage you that make sure your bumper makes sense. Make sure it is short. Make sure your energy isn't super low and sad, and then EDM kicks in and it's like, bwah, 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 bwah. And it's like, whoa, that happens a lot of times when we're watching newer YouTubers, is they just have an intro bumper that is very disconnected from the tone at which they talk or the energy that they, speak at. So keeping those things in mind, and obviously we'll show you ours. We've gone through, I think, 4 to 5 iterations of our intro bumper to our YouTube videos. And I think that can happen the same for you, is, starting off with a good one, but like as you think through some ways that it could be creative, that it can be shorter, but still show people what you're about, I think is great. So we'll show you an example in just a second. So the third thing is, now you caught the fish, you caught the trout, and now you're just reeling for the rest of the video. But the first reel in is going to be your introduction. So we had your hook, we then had your bumper, and now it's our introduction. And I think it is important that you introduce yourself. This is the time in the video that we prioritize the person we're meeting for the first time. We're really big on creating searchable content. And so if somebody finds us in search, if you typed in how to achieve something, or you want to start on YouTube, or how to get your first 1,000 subscribers, we're going to meet you for the first time. And this is where we, like, maybe for a second, we'll backseat our current subscribers just to reach the person who's watching for the first time. And maybe, you can tune this part out if you are a subscriber, and that's why you want to keep it short. But short introduction, I think it's important to give people a reason why they should trust you with the content you are giving. So that's like an authority statement. Like, I've been a lawyer for 20 years here in the Orange County area, and specifically for, car accidents and things like that, injuries. But like, that's an authority statement. Another power tip when it comes to your authority statement, don't be afraid to say, I used to, on my personal channel, I would say I'm a freelance photographer. Like, doesn't matter if I'm beginner or whatever. I'm making a little bit of money doing some photography. So I'm a freelance photographer here in Las Vegas. That's kind of how I, built that authority piece. I think you shouldn't come off prideful or arrogant in stating this. And just, check your heart, like, don't be so like, you need to listen to me because I've been a fitness instructor. No, it's just like, I help clients on a monthly basis. There's a way of doing that. So it's very actually inviting and trustworthy. Second, we always give this opportunity, like, this is what our channel is about. So if you want to subscribe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let me take a second. If you aren't subscribed to Think Media, you need to smash that subscribe button right now. Hit the like button if you are getting value already. But then you're going to get right into the content. And so you can really dial this in. This is something that we used to script, but now it's kind of just come natural. But we definitely say, this channel is all about helping you build your influence with online video. And sometimes we do videos like this or like that. So if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button, and then getting right into the content. So those are the three elements that you want to be thinking about. But I wanted to take a second to talk about the one thing that you can do to take your hook to the next level. The one thing that you can do that'll take your hook to the next level. But before I share that, hit that like button if you haven't already, if you're excited to hear this one thing. Again, if you haven't hit subscribe, hit that subscribe button. But here's the one thing, guys. The one thing that you want to do to take your hook to the next level is to include B-roll into your hook. To include B-roll into your hook. You know what's better than telling somebody a story is showing them the movie. You know what's better than telling them about something is showing what actually came from that. I think there's something powerful about showing somebody what it is you are saying. If you remember when you were at, in elementary school, I remember literally one of my favorite days was show and tell. Like, why was it? Number one, it didn't require too much work because you were just paying attention to your classmates. But I think also there was just a cool dynamic of seeing what people brought, something that was important to them, but they were able to show it. Like, here's my, this is where I put my teeth that fall out, and where my, I don't know why that was the example, but my fairly godparents, throw money here. Cool. But there's something about seeing it rather than saying it. So if you don't know what B-roll is, this is what B-roll is. B-roll is secondary footage to your main footage. So right now, what you're seeing right now is slide. Now, B-roll would be like just having the slide. So this would be, now you can hear me talking still, but yet there's something on top of what it is I am talking about. So that's B-roll. This is A-roll. Hello, somebody. And so that's the idea when you think about B-roll. If you didn't know the technical word, it's just secondary footage. And that's why they call it B-roll, because it goes right on top of your A-roll. So hopefully that's helpful. And we never want to leave you hanging. So I got a little something for you when we get there. But some things that B-roll does to your videos, it shows people what to expect. You're you're actually showing them what to expect in the rest of this video. I think it resets attention. You know, every time you see a new clip, it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then it's like, oh, dang, here's the bumper. You got me. You know, like now it's time to reel them in, right? And then secondly, I think it builds authority. It makes it look more professional when you're able to implement a little bit of more than just a talking head. And I think as time goes on, as more people hop on doing online video, as more people start, you know, in your niches, starting channels and brands and things like that, you want to think about implementing B-roll into your hook and obviously in your video altogether. But I wanted to show an example of a talking head video that we did that shows some B-roll as I talk about it. So let's check it out right now. With so many cameras on the market at various different price points, what camera do you buy for YouTube videos? In this video, I'll be sharing some of the features you want to look out for as you're on your hunt to find your YouTube camera. Let's get it.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what's up? It's Omar with Think Media, helping you build your influence with online video. And on this channel, sometimes we do tip videos for YouTube and strategy tips, as well as tech gear reviews and product recommendation videos, just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So that, my friends, is an introduction that included B-roll. There was things that went over, you know, on top of my head. And I just want to break down this intro real quick. And so you can get an idea of like what went through our heads when creating this. So this is the A-roll portion. This is the talking head. I think some things to note is that I have a prop. I have something that I'm using to kind of talk about in the video. I have a camera in my hand. You're like, what is it? Is it a gun? I don't know what that is. What's that thing on the top of his? I'm just kidding. So then I'm like, yo, choosing a camera, you know, there's a lot to consider. And then boom, you gotta, you know, a clip of a camera that shows up. When I say, you know, choosing a camera is really important if you want to get good video. You know, different cameras give different looks. Boom, like, oh snap, that dude got a blurry background. He must know what he's talking about when it comes to cameras and stuff, because that's what I want. And you definitely want to learn about some features that you may not know about. And so all that to say, like, here are 3 different clips that showed up that make you wonder. Like, I think the shot of the camera from the back, there's eye detection. You got a little, you know, my balancing level meter, but you're just like, you know, like what's going on? I'm hooked. And so boom, hits you with the bumper, and then we get right into the video. And so we never want to tell you to do something without giving you the tools to be able to do it. And so that's why we have made this video for you. It is on our channel. It's called How to Shoot and Edit B-roll for Beginners. It's a step-by-step tutorial, super helpful video. I like do a very like a behind the scenes video on how I'm shooting B-roll based off of my script, and then how I add it in editing. And so make sure you check out that video. That video will be in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and check that out. Never want to leave you hanging though. So let me show you 2 more examples of 2 different types of videos that I did here on Think Media, and then we can kind of talk through them one by one. The first video is going to be a 5-minute lighting tutorial video where actually I'm not using B-roll, but I intentionally wrote the script and what I did in the intro to pull your attention. And then second is kind of like a screen sharing tutorial. So let me show you. Let's do the first one, and then we'll talk about it. And then we'll do the second one. One of the biggest mistakes people make when lighting their videos is simply having their light in the wrong position. And the easiest way to fix this is by changing the position of your light. So just move it from directly in front of you to about 45 degrees from your face, and then you'll have a lot more of a flattering light. And I got more tips just like this in this video, so keep it locked.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what's up? It's Omar with Think Media. So that was an example of not using B-roll, but giving the tip right up front. This video had 3 tips when it came to lighting for beginners, and boom, I just started with the tip. And a lot of people are like, whoa, that first tip I learned already, that helped me. So like if you wanted to leave the video at 10 seconds, you left with value. And I think if there's one thing that we're really encouraging people in our world, or even YouTubers who are starting out, is building value-based channels, value-based videos. And anytime you can think about what is one way I can give even more value, just do it. And so that was an experiment. That was the first time we did something like that, but I think it worked out really well. I think there sometimes could be a little bit of like kind of like insecurity of like, I don't want to give out, like all the tips because like then my video is shorter. Just worry about getting value out to the viewer, better their experience, and trust me, they will subscribe, they will like you, they will think about you when it comes to lighting or whatever you're teaching. And so that was that. Let's do another example. This is an Adobe Premiere tutorial, which is a video editing software. So no special video, camera behind the scenes or like dope B-roll in that sense. It's really just a screen sharing tutorial. I want to show you how you can implement screen sharing tutorial into your hook. So let's check that out.
In this video, I'll be showing you 10 tips and tricks that you can start implementing into your next video when using Adobe Premiere Pro. These tips will help you save so much time in editing, as well as help you get better looking video and sounding audio. So let's get it.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what is up? I am Omar with.
So there you have it. That was just a screen sharing tutorial that I did via my laptop with a camera that was filming me. But I see a lot of people fail to do this. A lot of the times in your videos, you're showing what you're doing. And although that may be A-roll in the content itself, like you are showing yourself sewing something or you're showing yourself cooking something, that could be used as your B-roll in your hook. So think about that. You don't always have to like spend dedicated time to shoot B-roll for your hook, but by all means, what's in your video, splash it in your hook so people can see what they're getting themselves into, reset those endorphins, get those kicks, and so we can reel them in, right? And so, so those are some examples on our end. And now we're gonna take a second to go into our Video Ranking Academy members. I chose a few videos from the people in our Facebook group, our private Facebook group. And if you didn't know, we actually have a community of content creators that are learning how to take their YouTube channel to create a part-time and or full-time income using YouTube and online video. And all these people went through our free class, and that is our Think Master class. It's a free 1-hour class where you'll learn how you can do the same, how you can take what your knowledge is, your passion, your gifts, and how you can use that to potentially make a side income or full-time income using YouTube and online video. And so that's free for you. You can check out that link in the description below, bookmark some time or set aside some time to take that 1-hour class. More than anything, it's a very valuable, you'll learn so much already just taking that. And so really want to push you to be able to take that if you haven't already, the Think Masterclass. It can be found at thinkmasterclass.com. But I'm so pumped for this next portion of this training. Now we're going to go into our community, our Video Ranking Academy members videos, and hopefully maybe learn a little bit about their intros and things like that and how it could help you. And so we're going to start it off with this one right here.
Better than popping the hood of your car and pushing all these little things and holding them. Everything's dirty, everything's gross, your hands are nasty, now you're messing up your light, you drop it, it scratches, it's a terrible thing. You don't want to be doing all of that, which is why you're watching this video, because you want to know how to get set up in your garage, in your bedroom, wherever you're at, playing around with custom lights so that you do this the right way. If you're a car guy, there's nothing worse than when you buy a brand new part, you can't even turn it on to test it. You want to see the different modes? Well, you're going to have to pop the hood of your car.
Cool. So this is Flyride, one of the guys in our community. And one thing right off the bat, I know it was a little choppy there, but I think, let me talk about what I loved about his intro. Number one is that he used a ton of B-roll. You can see that like throughout his video, he's zooming in and out of his A-roll clip. So even then it's just keeping you engaged, like what's going on here, what's going on here. So I think on a technical standpoint, I think you did a good job at doing that, but just zooming in and out of your clip or your A-roll clip might be a lot, very helpful because it is just resetting attention. The bumper is super chill. I do like how your bumper has like the custom title. That means you probably recreate this every time you, make a video. It's at, the custom automotive lighting. But one thing I want to mention is it does start off right off the get-go. Like it didn't start with like, you didn't pose a question. It started like in the middle of your statement. So for the first 10 seconds, I didn't even know quite necessarily what the video is about. And based off the B-roll you were showing, I thought it was just simply about cars. And then as I was listening, it was about custom lighting. So like that was like the keyword. So if there's anything I can help you with, if you're trying to, you can see it in your title, then like pose that in the beginning. So if I'm there for that reason, then I'm there. But although your channel is about automobiles and stuff like that, it could be like, are you trying to customize a light feature anywhere, whether it's your office, your automobile, but like if that video really answers that question, start with that. And then so I know that you're using the example of a car to illustrate a point that will work in any situation. And so we're going to check out another video from someone in our community. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Tamara, and today I'm going to walk you through all of the 12 steps that you need to know so that you can make your very own table runner. This is a super easy project, and I make it even easier for you because we will be using a jelly roll. This jelly roll is a 20-strip jelly roll, and with this jelly roll, you will be able to make the table runner that we're going to make in this tutorial today, as well as 4 matching placemats and a matching pot holder. But if you want to make sure that you have enough fabric left over for the next 2 tutorials, then definitely check the link down below. I will have all of my dimensions listed there so that you will be able to follow along and make sure that you have enough scraps to make those next 2 projects as well. And when I talk about scraps, I really do mean scraps. For that pot.
Cool. So Tamara, thank you so much for your entry. Tamara came in, I believe, our second YouTube challenge, I think, and I remember her, and she's grown so much. Like this setup is such a long way from where she came from. So shout out to you, Tamara. I want to just pose like something that came up. It started well. I think it started really strong. It started with her talking about how she was gonna show you something. But again, back to the idea that like you got to keep kicking. You kind of lose it. And I think as you guys were probably watching, would you agree that like she was starting to lose you? And I would consider this, she lost you at the administrative part of her video, so the hook doesn't really call many times for being administrative. And what I mean by that is like, links in the description, what you'll need to start this, to go along with me. Those ideas. I think if you just told people what you were going to show them and what you were going to use. So like this could have been a this or that, like a transformation thing. How we're going to take these scraps and then we're going to create a runner that looks just like this. I do love that you had the prop, you had the final product, but it would have been cool to show off those scraps. And back to what I mentioned earlier in this training, that like many people have in their video, their A roll is good B roll for their hook. So like I was looking through your video and I was like, oh snap, she has great B roll for an intro. So just to encourage you, you could have, potentially next time is to show the scraps on, not cinched together, not sewn together, and then showing the final product, cutting straight to it. I'm trying to find it right there. Boom. But just showing that you have the footage, just take it from that point in the video, copy and paste it on top of your A-roll, and it would bring a little bit more like, transformation type to your video. And yeah, I think maybe get a bumper. If you guys didn't know, like if maybe you have no means of actually creating a bumper or what have you, something simple, I encourage you you can go to fiverr.com, fiverr.com, and have somebody make you a bumper based off of, you search bumper creator or YouTube bumper, and then somebody will create it for you. Then you'll have the file forever. You can just include it in your videos. But I think it does a good thing as far as separating, the hook from the rest of your videos. But more than anything, good job, Tamara. I do love the look, like on a technical standpoint. I love how clean your setup is. I can tell you probably moved a lot of things around based off of the last time we talked. So good job. The next person we're going to be looking at is a video editor, and he's got a cool tutorial as well.
is one of those things that when you do it right, it just looks incredible. However, if speed ramping isn't done right, it's just gonna look bad and ultimately make your videos look worse. So that's why in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything that you need to know about speed ramping to make your videos look so much better. All of that stuff and more coming up. But first, if you're new here, my name is Billy Ripka, and I make weekly DaVinci Resolve tutorials about different effects, transitions, and workflows that'll help you become a better editor. So if you want to level up your editing skills, click the subscribe button and the bell notification to stay up to date on the newest video.
Awesome job. I think 100% you could tell that he's a VRA student. This dude Billy got the VRA framework down to a T. What I love is, here's a few things that actually help everybody here. Number one is I could tell that he was using stock footage to demonstrate his point. This video is about speed ramping. And specifically what I love about your intro is not only do you say what speed ramping is, you show what it is. And so if somebody subscribed to you, and didn't know about speed ramping, but they hit your video because they saw your face, your thumbnail, like just in 10 seconds, I'm like, oh, that's what speed ramping is. And so now I know the technical term because I've seen it done. But I love that he used footage that he didn't get, but it was amazing. Like super clean imagery. This girl running down, you got the drone shot, we got the cityscape, great transitions and stuff like that. And so he's like building his case with you on why you should listen to him. And I think he did such a good job. He also showed up, bad examples. I think it was really cool that he showed bad examples, because then you're like, oh, maybe I'm doing it wrong. If I had one thing to say about your intro in general, Billy, is after you talked about it, you said that you are helping people become better editors. I think that's an incredible tagline, that if you had a bumper that was really short and made sense and maybe had the colors that you have in your office, it said Billy and it said helping you become a better editor as your tagline. Dude, that's just powerful in and of itself, because it sets the tone. Because how many people want to be a better editor? Like watching this video, if you're on the chat or you're watching live or on the replay, don't you want to become a better editor? But like make yourself the guy that helps you become a better editor, and you can do that with a bumper. But I love that you talk about what the channel's about and the things that you're specifically, transitions and fade-ins and stuff like that. But killer job, Billy. The next person we have is we got Lisa Cook, and let's check it out.
New to Bible study, or in a season where your time is very limited, which we all go through from time to time, I want to show you a way that you can study the Bible in 10 minutes or less without compromising quality. Because the truth is, it really is more about quality than quantity. So stay with me, and we'll be right back to look at that together. Hi, I'm Lisa Cook with For His Beloved Ministry.
Cool, Lisa. Thank you so much for that. Few things that right off the get-go, and why I chose your video in particular, was I think everything you said was so good. Everything you said, you posed a problem. Like, do you feel like you don't have enough time to read your Bible? Like, okay, yeah, I don't feel like, and then when I do read it, man, I'm discouraged because it's such a, I spend 10 minutes, but like, you're like, hey, in 10 minutes, you can actually get a lot done. I just love I love your tone. I love how it just makes sense. And then I know I cut it short, but shortly after that, the way she introduces her channel is just like what she's done. Like, I've been a minister for 30 years, I've been a minister for 20 years, but I've been teaching the word for like 15 years. And, I'm a mom of 4 kids, and she kind of like builds this case to relate to you, and also to give an authority to why you should listen to her video about how to study the Bible in 10 minutes. On a technical standpoint, I would say there's just a lot going on in your shot. So like in the intro, where you should be the focus of attention, you're like, you're using rules of thirds, which is a form of framing your image, but you're just off to the side. I would prefer you to be in the center, and to think that you don't have to have all the things going on. Like, I actually simplified my backdrop because I thought it was a little busy. There was just so much going on in my office for this specific shot. And so I really simplified it. And I think back to, Tamara, like very simple. And so the focus is on her. And so I'd say with you, maybe don't feel too worried about having your logo behind you. If you want it, maybe cool. But I would put you in the center, choose a plant, have one plant, but like you got beloved, be kind, amazing, like three, there's just kind of a lot going on. So simplify kind of your setup. I would encourage you to either use the corner as your backdrop, let the corner center you in, or, go flat against the wall. And maybe it'll just look a little bit better, but great job. Great intro. I love that you posed a problem and that you're going to help somebody find the solution to that. And so great job, Lisa. Appreciate you. Next one is a skincare example.
This video is all about niacin, niacinamide, or vitamin B3, and its benefits as both nutrient and in skincare. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where we talk about skincare, health, and wellness. So if you're interested, please hit subscribe below. So vitamin B3.
Great job, Polina. The reason I chose you is because we can all have better skincare because we're all getting older. No, but which is true. We are getting older. If you didn't know that, friend. Number one, her shot is it's super clean. As you can see right here, super clean shot. If there's something you didn't know, this is a technical term. It's called leading lines. It's when like architecture or structural things point to you. And so if you see right here, you could see her dresser is pointing you to her, and then her desk is actually leading you to focus in on her. So I think this shot is really clean for what you're doing. Now on a hook standpoint, I think obviously determining who you are trying to reach is really important when you are developing your hook, because I don't know what niacinamide is as a general consumer who goes to Target. My wife buys skincare and essential oils and stuff like that, but I don't know what that niacinamide, and also I don't know what vitamin B3 is. I know there was vitamin B. All that to say, here's a marketing term that you need to write down if you're watching this video right now. It's called the chocolate covered carrot. The chocolate covered carrot essentially is wrapping what it is that as the person giving the meal, or the person giving the content. You need the carrot, but the person who doesn't know they need the carrot, they just want the sweet stuff. Give me the goods. So what I say for you, Polina, is what does niacinamide and vitamin B3 do? Like, do you have dry whatever skin and you want it to look like this? And maybe you can show a before and after somebody's picture, but like, what is the result of actually what does niacinamide and vitamin B3 do for you? Because maybe that's the chocolate. I want clear skin. I don't want wrinkly face, whatever that is. And then say, in this video, I'll be teaching you how you can achieve that. And so whereas the video is about niacinamide and vitamin B3, it is more about achieving whatever it does. And so, I always love the example that we have here at Think Media. Sean made a video a while back called How to Get a Blurry Background. The technical term for blurry background is depth of field. Some people learn that because you've been searching on YouTube and stuff, but a lot of people starting video didn't know. They just want the blurry background. And so if Sean made that video and it was just titled How to Get Depth of Field, he's going to miss out on a lot of people who are thinking that they just want a blurry background. So being able to reach is really important. And more than anything, it's marketing and 101 in general is thinking about the person and how they are going to receive what it is you're giving them. So keep that in mind. Always think about what it is that you're talking about. What's the reason? What does it produce? And maybe you can lead with that. As far as your bumper, I love how quick and simple your bumper is, because obviously your name is your channel. But I would maybe underneath that put helping you get the best skin you've ever dreamed of, or like learning best practices for health and wellness skin, whatever. Like, what is the tagline of your channel, or what are you helping people try and do? So that way I can associate your name with what it is your channel is about. But I love how short it is, and the colors are great. And it looks like you even know how to, edit in regards to like adding slides to your, so like just saying this is B-roll. So like if you're saying like in this video, I'm going to be showing you what vitamin B3 does to achieve this, like boom, showing something like this could be helpful. A lot of times people have good B-roll as their A-roll in their content, but they should just be using it, clips of it in your hook. And so shout out to you, Polina. The last one that we're going to be reviewing is a channel called Food Talks. And so we're going to hop into it right now. Anybody? All right, Food Talks. I wanted to use that as an example because, his channel is an ASMR channel. And so I think one thing to know is that you don't have to have a channel that you're in the face of, and there's even voice. I love the title of his channel is Food Talks. It's kind of ironic, right? But one thing first, what I loved about this video is like the natural sounds. The natural sounds of his video was, it kept you, every time a new sound came up, it kind of lent you in more. And actually I want to point, and then it was like when there was no sound, you were like, is this still going? And so this goes back to the idea of pace. Like if this is your pace, you're showing clips, their sound, don't lose them. And I think one way you lost probably a viewer in the way they were connected to your video is that the music started a little late. And then there was that elongated clip of everything you needed to make what it is you're making. So I would suggest a few things. And I know this video was posted in June and you've dropped some videos since then, is try to keep that pace, be intentional about those nat sounds. Even if the shot doesn't make sense to have a good sound to it, then don't use it. Use shots, particularly for your videos, use shots that actually get your sounds, your ears going. I didn't notice a subscribe button at any point in the intro. And since you're not saying anything, a visual call to action could do so much by just throwing it up on the screen while you're showing everything you need. But I would say shorten that clip. As far as everything else, though, I think it's tight. I want to encourage a lot of people. You don't need to have the face of your channel. It could just be a voice channel, and then it could just be, I think, ASMR channel where you just hear the sounds of what it is you're doing. And ASMR doesn't always have to be creepy. I feel like that's like the rap that ASMR got. I follow this like leather maker, and like it is so. I don't know. It's nice to hear like him cutting the leather and then like sanding it down, and then and then he's not really talking like this, but he's got the leather going. but ASMR has become like so weird, but it doesn't have to be. But shout out to you. I love your channel idea. And I think we've all learned a lot today in regards to what it is that we're thinking about. How are we handling the first 8 seconds, 15, 30 seconds of our video? And I appreciate you joining me on this video, and I hope you learned something new. If you learned anything, let me know in the chat. But one thing I wanted to show you, a lot of people don't know that you can actually do this. And I wanted it to make a point that I would show you that you can do this. No matter where you are in your YouTube journey, we have a channel called Think Media. Whoa, what brain explosion. Yes, Omar, channel called Think Media. Let me tell you what you can do, friend, to really level up your content creation. You can go to our YouTube channel, and what you can actually do is search what it is you're trying to find. Like, do you need help with lighting? Type in, if you know how to type like me, type in lighting and learn about lighting. Do you have a Canon M50? Do you want to use your Canon as a live stream or to live stream? Like we have a plethora of videos that you can use this search bar to find what it is you're looking for. Lenses for vlogging. This is just use this as a resource. I think a lot of people don't know that you can do this on YouTube, but our channel is designed to really help you with whatever you need. And we're constantly thinking of ways on how we can help you in that. But I appreciate you joining me. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. And appreciate you watching this video. Thinkmasterclass.com. Everything in the description below based off of what I talked about in this video. And I cannot wait to see you in a future one. Take it easy.